Hey guys, Tom here, and today I am doing Was Raw or SmackDown Live better this week? So we did this video last week and you guys really enjoyed it, so I just had to do it this week because this week's Raw and this week's SmackDown Live were really good. I think this was a very solid week for the WWE. I know Clash of Champions is this Sunday, but it doesn't take anything away from the fact that this was a brilliant week for the WWE and we're still yet to have this week's pay-per-view. I mean, it was really good. I enjoyed Raw, I enjoyed SmackDown Live, but which show was better? And most importantly, why? So who won? What did you guys think? Comment down below. There's also a poll you can take part in, but I'm going to go for, once again, SmackDown Live. Yeah, I'm going to go for SmackDown Live once again. It's crazy and it's no coincidence that SmackDown Live literally has won maybe 8 times out of a possible 10 shows we've had since the draft. I think it's about 8-2 now to SmackDown Live, which is crazy, but it's no coincidence. There must be a reason SmackDown Live is winning every single week, and it was just an awesome show. It had to be an awesome show to beat Monday Night Raw, but it did beat Monday Night Raw. So let's get into the discussion. Raw was good, but SmackDown Live once again was just much better. So let's have a little talk about it. So what did happen on this week's Monday Night Raw? Now, Monday Night Raw was good, but it just wasn't SmackDown Live. Now, last week Monday Night Raw got a 1.8 rating, so clearly this week they had to change things up, and they did change things up. We got a steel cage match, we got some pretty good matches. We got Cesaro against Sheamus, pretty decent matches, Rollins against Rusev. It was clear from the steel cage that they were trying to bring the audience back to Monday Night Raw, because the week before was pretty bad. So clearly they wanted to make this Raw feel special. Did it feel special? Yes and no, because clearly they were trying something to make it feel big, but also at the same time you could kind of tell they were trying to make it feel big, but did it really work? The steel cage match was a nice idea. I'm not really a huge fan of steel cage matches, and plus we saw Kevin Owens against Roman Reigns the week before, so it wasn't really anything that different. We also got Seth Rollins against Rusev, which was a pretty good match. It did end in double countout. It was a good match, but I'm sure they could have put on a better match. We also got a few other matches. We got a really good match once again between Cesaro and Sheamus, and also we can't ignore the fact which we got the debut of the Cruiserweight division, which could potentially save Monday Night Raw from utter embarrassment from SmackDown Live. So we did have some pretty good things which happened on this week's show, but I think it's the 3-hour format which is really letting them down, because they fill so much time on this week's show and on previous shows. They fill so much time and it's just a waste of time. And I've just gone off and watched SmackDown Live just before recording this video, and the 2 hours went by so fast. I didn't skip anything, but when I watch Monday Night Raw, I skip everything. So how did they fill the time on this week's show? Well, they had another Braun Strowman jobber match. We had Charlotte and Dana Brooke against Sasha Banks and Bayley, which it kind of felt like we've seen that before. Bo Dallas defeating another jobber, pretty much the same match he's had for the last 3 weeks. We got this like huge 6-man tag match. The New Day, Enzo and Cass, Sami Zayn against Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson, the Shining Stars, and Chris Jericho. That didn't really work. It was a bit of a waste of time, and it really didn't do anything. And the most way they wasted this week's show was through the general manager, Mick Foley. Once again, on Monday Night Raw, it's more about how they run the show than the actual wrestling, and that's not what we want to see. We don't want to see arguments between Foley, Stephanie, Rollins, Owens. We've seen that all before with the Authority era, and that was a really bad time for the WWE. It was really repetitive, it was really sluggish. There was some really bad Raws a couple of years ago when the Authority were running things, and we're getting the same thing over and over again. How are they running the show? Mick Foley booking matches and stuff like that. Whereas on SmackDown, the only time you see Daniel Bryan is in his feud with The Miz, and that works. But on Raw, I mean, every other segment involves either Stephanie or the general manager Mick Foley. They're wasting time. We don't really care that much. We want wrestling. We don't want to see how they're running the show. We want them, just see them actually running the show and actually putting on matches, and it's just feeling like a bit of a waste of time, and I'm not really enjoying it. I think Mick Foley is a good general manager, but there's too much of Mick Foley. There's too much of Stephanie McMahon on every single Raw, and it makes every single Raw feel exactly the same, and I'm not a huge fan of it. So why did SmackDown Live win this week? Partly it's the 2-hour format. They don't have any minutes to waste. They've got to use every single moment, and also they do use every single moment because every single thing which happened on this week's SmackDown Live meant something. Every single thing. So let's go through the whole show because everything meant something. So we had Alexa Bliss begin building her match with Becky Lynch for the women's title at No Mercy. Alexa Bliss pushes the table over Becky Lynch. She slaps her with the contract. Great way to build Alexa Bliss's character up, and a great way to start building that title match. So we also got the Usos in a phenomenal match. This was really good against American Alpha, so that built their feud up once again, and it's looking like a really good feud. We got Baron Corbin demolishing Apollo Crews for the second week in a row, building their feud up. We also got The Miz in an amazing match against Dolph Ziggler, so that feud is really getting going. We got Randy Orton defeating Eric Rowan. We then got Bray Wyatt cut a promo on Randy Orton after the match, so clearly they're working a great feud together. We once again got Naomi and Nikki Bella against Natalya and Carmella, and this ended up with Carmella attacking Nikki Bella, so clearly a feud between Nikki and Carmella is continuing. And then in the main event we got Dean defeating John Cena and AJ Styles attacking both of them after the match, which builds towards the triple threat match for No Mercy. So literally everything which happened on this week's SmackDown Live meant something. Literally everything. There was nothing which didn't mean anything, and I absolutely love SmackDown Live. This was an amazing show. That Usos and American Alpha match and The Miz against Dolph Ziggler were two of the best matches this week, without a doubt. They were so good, so enjoyable, and we had some really good matches on this week's show. Ambrose against John Cena was also a very good match, and SmackDown Live, no wasted motion, no wasted time, everything meant something. No Mercy is looking like a really good show. The Usos against American Alpha at No Mercy should be good. Corbin against Crews, The Miz against Ziggler, what a match that was. Orton against Bray Wyatt, Carmella against Nikki, Alexa against Becky Lynch, Ambrose, Cena, AJ Styles, and probably some other matches added to that one as well. Monday Night Raw was a decent show, a lot of wasted time. You could kind of see what they were trying to do. They were attempting to make it feel big, but the 3 hours, you can't do it every single week. You can't have a great show every single week, which is 3 hours long. It felt a bit long, a bit sluggish this week on Raw. It was a decent show, but SmackDown Live smashes it out the park once again, which is crazy because it's literally won every week. I think Raw's won maybe 2 weeks at a push. It might even have won 1 week. Maybe 2 was a bit of an exaggeration. So SmackDown Live, once again, way ahead of Monday Night Raw. Now, the Cruiserweight division was probably the highlight for this week's Monday Night Raw. I think they could potentially save the Monday Night Raw show. I definitely feel that. But also talking about the champions on Monday Night Raw, on SmackDown Live, there's clearly a revolution happening. We've got new champions everywhere, new tag champions, new women's champion, new WWE champion, and The Miz, who has still been the champion since the draft, is doing a great job. But over on Raw, you've still got the New Day as tag team champions, you've still got Rusev as the United States champion, and you've still got Charlotte as the women's champion, so not much has really changed on Monday Night Raw. I do think hopefully at Clash of Champions we get maybe 1 or 2 title changes to mix things up a little bit on Monday Night Raw. Now, to be fair, we've now got Cruiserweight champion, which should be pretty good, but apart from that, things need to switch up quickly on Monday Night Raw. I thought Kevin Owens was the answer. He might be, but I definitely think once we get new champions, mix things up a bit in the tag team division, maybe in the women's division a little bit. Rusev's a decent United States champion, but we have kind of seen that quite a lot recently. Maybe once Clash of Champions happens, they mix things up a little bit. The 3-hour format's not going to help them at all. The Cruiserweight Championship could save things because that match was awesome. That Fatal 4-Way match was really, really good. Maybe that was in the top 2 matches of the week. Maybe I forgot about that one. But overall, SmackDown Live once again wins. I'm going to give this week's SmackDown Live an 8 out of 10. Monday Night Raw a 7, a 7.5. But once again, SmackDown Live on top. Thanks for watching, guys. Smash the likes, subscribe for daily WWE videos, and remember to follow me on Twitter. There is a link in the description. Take care, spike your hair.